Some people wonder why anyone would disperse camp.
I've got a route planned that will take us into some new territory, south through the Blue Mountains, with an aim at popping out in Grande, Oregon. I've gone down it several times. What? Look how cool this is! We'll check back in when I'm dead and gone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Impact Moto. We are headed due east out of Walla Walla. We're headed up into the Blue Mountains for a single night to escape the heat. We'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. Anyway, spent a lot of time going out this way, and so I'm looking forward to kind of checking out some of those old roads and the old nostalgia train coming through. I was standing in the garage today. KTM Africa Twin. KTM Africa Twin. And I just had to take it out. It had been a while since I'd really done anything fun on the Africa Twin. I've been commuting to work now and then on it and stuff, but it's totally capable of this kind of thing, and just because the KTM's shiny doesn't mean I have to put this one, or sentence this one to a dust-covered future. So we're going to do our best to use both machines, justify the ownership to the old wife, and I think we're doing alright so far. Temperature's already cooling down a bit from the concrete jungle I left behind, and I am welcoming the change. So we've got a few more minutes here, and then we'll hit the dirt. My favorite sign. Just hanging out in the road, that deer. It's always when you start to get excited, you could feel that you're getting real close to the road, whatever that turnout happens to be for you. They had a major flood through here a couple years ago, and I'm seeing some of these that look like new construction. Beautiful. Oh, more deer. Hello, dear. What's for dinner? Another deer. Man. Just hanging out all over up here. These people, I don't know if they have like a chemical that they lay down on the road or what, but they keep the dust down with something. Can't say I blame them. I would prefer not to have a dust storm every time somebody decides to go up the woods. Yeah, this is it. That is the sign that reminds you why adventure bikes are the best thing ever. Up we go! Tiger, Canyon, and/or Creek. I really gotta learn that, so I stopped needing to qualify it. Alright, let's see if we can get by this dust bomb. Check in a bit. Alright, the old geezer pulled over. Oh, we're in business now. So this road needs to gain quite a bit of elevation in order to get up and over kind of the ridge that you're seeing in the background right up there. So what it does is it kind of snakes back and forth up, and then once you get high enough, it kind of follows the ridge line all the way up and over that crest. And this Africa Twin is just set up so well. I didn't have to do anything before I left the house. I just checked tire pressure, I checked the chain to make sure it wasn't rusty and disgusting. And that was about it. This is my Toyota Camry Sport. If you guys don't already, go check out the channel Backcountry Adventure Motorsports. It's another dude that's based in Washington, and he used to have an Africa Twin, and he just upgraded to a GSA. But his content is top-notch, way better than my content, so go over there. He has a ton of awesome videos. He reviews stuff, he goes on big long trips. It sounded from his most recent one that I saw that he was getting ready to do some even longer trips, like the, you know, in full continent type trips, which the GSA is going to be perfect for. So you can see we're climbing up out of the valley there, and once we round the corner up here a ways, we will finally get this view that looks back over the valley. We came all the way up that valley. I never stop, I'm always far too impatient. But there you go. Pretty sweet. You could tell it was a lot of work to make this road. The major downside of this road is if you're interested in coming up here early season, right here, this inside corner going up this stretch of the road almost always has a ton of snow, and you don't know it until you get all the way up here. So you waste about a half hour driving up just to see, at least a half hour, driving up just to see if the snow's gone yet. Came out here one time with my 4x4 quad and I thought, I'll get through that snow. I made it like 8 feet in there. Had to back out and go home. So nice. Getting up here to the top of the world. Traction control just keeps kicking in. I have it on the lowest but not off. So even though everybody doesn't really like to watch the Africa Twin content, because I'm sure it's much more boring when I don't fly around and I don't wheelie, you could still easily take it out into places that are just as cool as the stuff I'm doing on the KTM and I do on the Honda. It's just a slightly different beast. You know, it does weigh 150 pounds more, so it's not like you're gonna sling this thing off of a double, but it's not like I'm doing that anyway. Ultimately, this bike is a pretty good do-it-all machine, with the exception of super tight single track stuff. And then the KTM kind of spreads out into that arena a little bit more and loses some of the highway capability, which isn't to say it can't do the highway, it's just that this thing is obviously more comfortable on the highway. It's bigger, so it doesn't vibrate as much. It's got a better windscreen, yada yada. But at the end of the day, if you want to take this into the woods, here you are. It's not hard to do. There's nothing that stops you from doing it if you owned an Africa Twin and then you're saying to yourself, oh, I need a smaller bike to get out there. Nah, you don't. You really don't. What you do need is to learn how to harness your bike's power and admit to yourself that you don't need the full power in all of the modes. So dumb it down a little bit. I think I'm riding on the second to lowest power level right now because I was experimenting with it, but I'm still having a blast. It's extremely controllable. Anyway, my 2 cents. I'm definitely one of those people that says if you feel like you have to buy a shitload of stuff just to go out and do a particular type of ride, chances are if you have a motorcycle that's branded as dual sport or adventure, it's totally capable of whatever it is you're talking about as far as like exploring roads, that you should just go do it instead of thinking I have to spend X amount of money first. Okay, finally We made it to the top. This road to the right, if you were to take this road, here I'll give you a small glimpse of the view here. This road is called Government Mountain Road if you take it all the way to where it pops back out of the mountains, and it pops out just I guess east of Milton Freewater. So that should give anybody who's curious about the location a waypoint there. Of course, I thought I was going to show you the view from here. No such luck. But anyway, you go up Government Mountain and you pop out right here. Unfortunately though, Government Mountain also has its own snow block in the early season, so you rarely can get to here at all until the snow's just gone. But this is kind of the next big valley. There's roads that go all around, but we're probably going to camp near the top of that other hilltop over there. This one right there. But we'll meander around and see what we see on the way. These roads are some of the nicest gravel roads. I mean, they're nicer than half the streets in cities. Looks like they needed a little bit better drainage control though. Ooh. Rode the edge of that one. Beautiful. We'll check back in here in a bit. Well, this looked too interesting to drive right by. Never been up here before. Gotta turn off wheelie control. Huh. It's kind of a cool little spot. You could see the road, but nobody's right here. Very nice. Huh. A little steep. This is kind of a cool spot. Oh yeah. This is a nice spot. I think I've explored up here one time with my truck. We found camp. Beautiful, beautiful place. All right. That is my plastic bit rubbing against the other plastic bit. Home sweet home.
Some people wonder why anyone would disperse camp. We are just underneath a hammock tarp in a hammock with a beautiful view. Nothing but nature. Stranger made this cool log thing. They used a chainsaw to cut these columns, and then they cut into it from one side so you have like a partially burnt out, perfect airflow for starting a fire. It was super easy. Thanks, stranger. Getting dark, yes, but there's the camp. There's the Africa Twin. And there's the fire. Not stars out tonight, but cloudy. And we're at the top of a hill. You can see downhill in all directions. And it's gorgeous. Okay, recap. Slept there, packed it all up, just putting the finishing touches, watching this fire cook down a little bit. Just got to get my backpack on, gloves and coat and stuff. A little chilly this morning and a little damp. That basically just means there's no dust. I've got a route planned that will take us into some new territory. Just, what would it be, east of Tollgate in Oregon, and then kind of snaking south through the Blue Mountains with an aim at popping out in Grande, Oregon. Never been this route, but it looks pretty good, so depending on the state of the roads, if they're passable, we'll hit Grande and then just buzz home on the highway. So stay tuned. New stuff today. Should be a lot of fun. Let's go. Gotta say, this Africa Twin just puts a smile on my face. I don't care how big it is a blast to ride off-road. We might be a little chilly yet. I got a coat, so we'll see how this feels after we get rolling here, but definitely a little on the cold side. Yes, I would like to cancel rear wheel ABS. Yes, I'd like wheelie control off. And yes, I would like traction control off. What a cool spot. I really, really liked this spot. Alright. Here's the dead end. And here's the right turn to go down there. It's pretty dang steep. So it's a good thing I have the rear ABS off, because I will probably need to slide the rear to get down this safely. But she is pretty steep. Not sure if anybody ever goes up it, but I've gone down it several times. Rear tire needs to slide to center me in the road. There we go. Pretty steep. Alright, now, next real landmark is the snow cabin at the top of that little mountain between here, and then the next one, Jubilee Lake. So, yeah. We'll just kind of cruise. Probably won't film too much of this territory since I've already been through here. But yeah, I'll show you anything interesting I find. This route used to get super muddy, so we'll see if it's doable on a motorcycle currently. I imagine it is. It's been, it's June, but you never really know till you know. Did have a late wet spring, so this trip is a great reminder that this thing is also a BDR monster. Just the ability to bomb down these little roads. We're doing 20. Truck would be doing 6. This thing was pretty good on the BDR last year. You forget how good, honestly, because it'll just eat up everything. Full on pavement for hours, fine. Yeah, this is where it usually gets muddy, so we'll see how bad this gets. But they did just do a ton of work on this road. So I want to say that it'll be a little less sticky than usual. A lot of times there are huge ruts on this road. Definitely regraded and stuff last year. Discovered that on one of my moto trips. I was out on the XRL that time. The route I picked said it was about 60 miles to Grande. So figure in an average speed of something like 20. We've got 3 hours to go. And a lot of this is just gorgeous out here, so looking forward to seeing some new angles of the familiar hills at least. Ooh. That looks like it could pretty easily be a bloodbath. I think we can get out to the right. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm in favor of turning around and using that little shortcut that we just passed. Yep. Good decision, Impact. We can at least see how bad the mud gets over here. I think we're all right. I think we're okay. That was deep. That's the thing, you don't want to get stuck in a deep mud hole out here all by yourself, but we should be going uphill from here out, so, or maybe after a short downhill here, but there shouldn't be too much more mud. Alright, quick check to make sure my bags are all still attached. That's a plus. Alright. Well, it looks like it's just more of this for a little while. Check back in. We passed the snowmobile cabin, and I am shocked at how only a year later this road, which was powder the last time I came through here, freshly graded, it only took a year for it to be completely hard-packed and rocky again. Good news is we're getting close to the turnoff for Jubilee Lake. Ooh, come on, get out that rut. Straight south in the blues. New territory. I'm excited. Gotta love these forest drives. Good for the soul. And here's the turnoff. Jubilee Lake is right this way. 2 miles it says, but I don't even think it was that far. Breaking news, a Subaru holding up the world. We'll check back in when I'm dead and gone. Once the Subaru leaves, we get to have a little fun.
area where the road posts have extensions on them for driving in the snow. Just in case there's an 8-foot snowfall one day and you need to get to school. Summit Road. Well, that sounds promising. Up we go. This place is like damp and moist like the west side, but it's all the east side forest as far as tree types. Gorgeous. Super dense underbrush. This is the kind of stuff I grew up with, but on the west side it's more like ferns. Let's see if we can get a time lapse of this for a while. It's pretty cool. Oh, that's me. Just hit dirt. GPS is saying 24 miles to go. It said 24 miles I think last time I looked, so I gotta keep an eye on that. But it does look like I'm navigating, so we'll just be cruising down some of these dirt roads. Should be fun. Okay, now it says 23 miles. I must have just looked at it. Man, there is no arguing that this Africa Twin is a hell of a package. You can do so much with this machine. Ooh, I see a dust cloud. Somebody left Morgan Wallen again. Ooh, some bikers. Check it out. Time to hunt them down. Let's see how long it takes them to notice me. Alright, we'll check back in. Well, aside from the phone charger problem, this drive is awesome. Wait till we round this corner. This is like a little saddle between two big valleys. So you can see this way quite a ways. And then you look the other way, you can see that way forever. Africa Twin. It's been kicking some ass up here today. Found some mud, lots of gravel. It's a blast in the gravel. It's got so much power to do whatever you really want to in the gravel, actually. Slide around. Don't change the power settings to your suit to suit your riding style. Heck of a machine. Also, I think I finally got the phone charger thing figured out. I've been leaving the phone screen off. At least I'm gaining battery, so I'm not gonna be stranded out here without a phone. That's nice. Yeah, man, what a reset. This is exactly why you come out in the woods. You find new places. Things that not very many people go see. And it's worth it. Let's get back on this bike. So about a mile up from where we last spoke. And this road is, yeah, it definitely does get a little technical. I wouldn't want to take a car out here just because it would take so long. But I passed a couple side-by-sides. They seem to be having a good time out here. Lots of embedded rocks though, so you kind of got to be careful. You feel confident, and then one little rock that looks like it'll move out of their way might actually pop a tire.
this little pull out here. What a cool spot. Should have kept going yesterday. I could have. Oh, here's that structure anyway. Nice. What? Look how cool this is. Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah. This is just incredibly good. You have to get a photo. Definitely a high point. Picnic table over here. We'll go check this out for a sec. Well, that structure was cool. My GoPro battery died, so you didn't see much of it. But since then, we've just been making steady progress here. My phone's got 20-something% now, so I'm risking leaving it on because there are enough turns that I'm not wanting to forget to check and lose my route. But this is apparently like an off-road area outside of the Grande that we're going to be coming down through. So for future reference, if you don't have an adventure bike and you want to come somewhere with your dirt bikes, this is something you could look into. It would be just north of La Grande. That was a tight. Pretty big ruts. We go straight. There's a road right there. Huh. Hard to tell. I think it's this road. It just looks a little funky on the map. Yeah, this is it. Getting up here would be a little challenging in a Jeep or something. Lots of big ruts. That's where a bike is just so nice because you don't have to worry as much about two wheel tracks that you have to plan for. You just kind of pick one line. there's almost always, you know, several lines through something. So if you come in a little hot, you can kind of pick one of the lines that lines up better with your momentum. It's funny because the front ABS doesn't come off on this bike. And man, some of these trails are reminding me of Ellensburg trails. Anyway, the front ABS doesn't come off, and when you're doing stuff where the front tire is going up over a bump real quick, you try to grab a little bit of front brake, it doesn't like it. You could definitely feel it kicking in when it seems like it wouldn't be slipping, but on balance, for a bike this big, you can shut everything off to the point where you barely notice anything happening. And really the only thing left to interfere is the front ABS. That's the only nanny system that won't shut off in stock form. Just gotta make sure we're on the right trail. Looks like it. Going up this way, I think. This is some good footage riding this Africa Twin. Because everybody probably thinks it's so boring because you just don't ever really find you can't wheelie it very well. At least I just think it's kind of dumb to try to wheelie it. So I don't really do any one-wheeled moments on this thing. Wow, that thing popped up the rear. But that doesn't mean it's incapable. You just don't really see off-road stretches like this on this thing very often, because if I'm going somewhere like this, I'm usually taking a dirt bike. But this is kind of a lot of like what the BDR was like. You know, if you could do this, you could take a BDR all day. Ah, what a beautiful place. And it looks like we missed our turn. Having too much fun, dang it. I bet this snakes back to it though. So this must be us coming down into La Grande. That's La Grande over there. Yeah, we're gonna tie back into the main road right up here. Sweet! Ah, man. Another wrong turn right there. But another bet that this will come back and hit the main route. Basically, we're just opting to take the meandering ORV routes rather than the slightly more put together main road. How's it going, guys?
Going good.
Having a good time?
Oh yeah.
This is a sweet area. Just stopped and chatted with those guys. They confirmed that this does connect back into La Grande. So that's good. Ooh. Ah. So, a couple notes about real off-roading on this thing. Don't be stupid. If you can't control a bike this big, don't buy a bike this big. I remember yesterday I was saying something like, oh yeah, really doesn't matter, you could ride whatever. I just feel like if I said that out loud and put it on YouTube or something and somebody bought a bike like an Africa Twin or a KTM 1190 or something, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go rip up these trails. Ooh, you gotta know what you're doing. And I spend a lot of time on motorcycles, so it doesn't feel too extreme to me. But I also can feel myself getting out of breath, which means that I'm working harder than I normally do to do the same, similar stuff. So, you've been warned. Alright, so we're coming down the hill here. These are a little extreme to be bunny hopping on this thing. Sweet. Mount Emily Recreation Area ORV Park. Beautiful place. 5 stars, thumbs up. We'll be back. What a cool spot to pop out though. Oh, there's a youth riding area, that's neat. Teach your little ones how to do it right before they get up in the mountains. Probably gonna grab something to snack and refuel this beast, and then we'll be hitting the highway on the way home. Guys, thank you so much for watching as usual. We're just out here doing dirt bike stuff on a big ass adventure bike, no worries. The fact that I can hop on the highway and just beeline it 75 miles an hour all the way home, don't have to worry about overheating, don't have to worry about anything, because it's built for it. That is really where adventure riding is. It's the freedom to leave home on it, do what I just did on it, and then when you're done, maybe you've really explored pretty deep into the woods. You pop out into a little town like this and you think, I don't want to go back through all that. No worries. If there's a freeway, you just hightail it out of there. Anywho, this has been a blast. A single night, but a definite needed reset for me. I got a lot of studying to do, so that's what I'll be doing next. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it, and guess I'll catch you in the next one. Later!